everybody, welcome to the SOE Webcast. Today we're interviewing someone from the NOC. This is Bill Corning.
Hey guys.
How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Kind of nervous, but
me too.
It's the first time I'm doing this, so.
I know, I shouldn't be nervous. I do this all the time.
Okay.
So, Bill, what did you do before you worked here at SOE?
Before I came here, I was a night stockman at an Office Max.
You were a stalker?
Yeah. I did like the midnight till like 9 or 10 shift.
You know, ladies don't like to be stalked.
Oh,
you mean you stalked the shelves?
Yeah, stalked the shelves.
Got it,
you know what I did on my personal time. My own business. So that's another conversation. That's fine. You know.
So how did you get started working here at SOE?
My oldest brother was working for the Unix department at the time, and I had known about SOE because I played PlanetSide, the last phase of that beta. So he was saying, you know, hey, I can get you a job in customer service. You know, it's, you know, work your way from the bottom and then, you know, rule the world afterwards. So I said, yeah, fine. So I literally dropped everything. You know, and just drove out here. It took like 2 days to drive out here. Everything in my old '88 Mazda, and one thing led to another. Like a month or two later, and I got hired here. So,
awesome.
Working in tech support.
So, what is your actual position, your job title right now?
It's a NOC operator, but it sounds really cool if I say Network Operations Center Operator. That way when you tell people, when they say, well, what is it that you do? And you're like, NOC Operator, they look at you with this confused look. What is that? You can say, well, I'm a systems admin. Oh, yeah, I know what that is, you know. And you know, Network Operations, I work there. That's cool.
Awesome. So, all I ask, what does NOC actually stand for?
Network Operations Center. Most companies have them. We have one. Nice, you know, nifty little office we got going on there. Everyone calls it fishbowl. So.
I want to touch on something before I have a whole list of questions.
Okay.
But you said you played PlanetSide.
Love PlanetSide.
Did you know? Did you know today's PlanetSide's
Yes.
birthday?
I found out today. PlanetSide.
Turned
Happy
8.
birthday, PlanetSide! All you players.
It turned 8 today.
8 years.
Happy birthday, PlanetSide!
Fantastic game.
All right. So, do you have any favorite situations or memories from your time at working in technical support?
I would have to say my favorite, most memorable occasion was we actually we helped a customer recover their account.
Okay.
And she was so grateful, they actually sent the department a big box of cookies.
Aww.
Which I thought was the coolest thing, and of course I love food, so you know, I love sweets, so that was great. That was probably the coolest part. That and EverQuest 2 launch, we had to work overtime. I'm sure Joel remembers. We had to work the 12-hour overtime, and then during our break, I had a flat tire on my car. I knew about it all day, so it was raining, it was dark, and I was out there during our half-an-hour lunch break, and I can't see. I'm trying to get the lug nuts off, and I have somebody walk up to me. I didn't know who the guy was, and he's like, "Hey, you need help with that?" I'm like, "Hey, sure." You know, we start talking. He helps me change my tire. He goes, "Okay, cool, nice to meet you. I'm Russ." And I'm like, "Hey, I'm Bill. It's cool. You know, work in tech." And he's talking about how, you know, we've done a great job as a company. You know, I didn't know who this guy was.
Yeah.
So I said, well, you know, the real credit goes to tech support because we're on the front lines. And I only find that like 5 or 10 minutes later in the IRC. I'm like, dude, you know who that was? That was Russ Shanks. That was COO. I'm like, oh.
Oh my gosh. COO.
Well, I'll see you guys later.
Help me change my tire.
So that was pretty cool.
Awesome. So, what exactly does a NOC operator do?
Well, basically, we're like the front line for all of SOE infrastructure.
Okay.
Kind of like firefighters. And what I mean by that is that at any given time, you could have several boxes go down. You know, and those boxes could be for live environments, QA, dev, non-production. Prime example, you could be our player's favorite EQ2 server. I'm just throwing one out there, and you could have a couple of boxes go down in the same cluster.
Right.
And customers don't see anything that's going on. They probably won't have any idea that that there's any problem whatsoever. We'll be alerted to it through our tools, and our job is to basically make sure that everything's up and running at all times. So if there's a problem with like a box down, then we fix it, if we can fix it. If it's a problem where we can't fix it, then we have various support teams in place that they can go out there and then they can resolve it. So basically our job is to make sure that everything is nice and running at all times. Gamers are playing, gamers are happy, we're all happy.
That's right. So what's the most interesting thing that you've learned about while working in the NOC?
I would say amazing attention to detail. You got to pay attention to the littlest things, and whether that's pushing out, you know, code deployments with patches, whether that's watching everything, because you can literally be there and watching our reporting tools, and everything looks okay, and you'll look away for a minute, look back, and something's on fire. You know, you could have a major box or database that's going down. You could not pay attention, and then you can hit the wrong button when we're doing our staging for our EverQuest 2 or EQ or Star Wars Galaxies patch, and you could bring down the servers during prime time. You could push out the code 8 hours ahead of time, and then that creates all kinds of havoc, and we don't want any of that.
Oh goodness. So speaking of that crazy type of situation, what's the craziest that you've ever seen while working in the NOC?
The craziest I've ever seen, there's, well, besides the DCUO launch, that was a good one. The craziest ones were definitely the earthquake that happened last year's Easter. I was working there, it was Sunday, it was me and another guy, and all of a sudden it just sounded like a dozen guys running to the lunch truck. You know, it was all of a sudden. Seriously, I mean, it was just like you felt that rumbling, like, whoa, what's going on there? It's like a pack of rhinoceros, and all of a sudden everything's shaking, monitors are shaking. The first thing we did was, you know, we made the calls. I was running to the data center, making sure that none of our servers were on the floor.
Oh,
so
goodness.
that was it. Luckily, they weren't. Thankfully, that and I would say during the fires that happened.
Oh yes.
Several years ago. So you know, everybody in the company. I don't know if everyone knows, but everybody in the company, for the most part, was, you know, taking care of their business. There was no work, but everyone was there in the NOC. You know, we are there all the time, so we had to literally put out the fires those couple of days.
Yeah. What's the most enjoyable thing about working in the NOC?
I would say that it's got its ups and downs. I would say the most enjoyable thing is that it can be very busy. It can be crazy busy, and it can be crazy slow. And what I mean by that is that, you know, you come in there, my shift is, I come in at 2 o'clock and I get out at 11.
Okay.
So I'll come in there, and for the first half of the day, it's still crazy because, you know, the end of business day is usually around 6 or 7. Yeah. So people are breaking stuff, and we're fixing it. And then right after that, you don't even realize it. So half the day has gone by. And then after that, it slows down. It's, you know, if there's some scheduled maintenances, that's fine, but it slows down, and then you can catch up on tickets that you haven't done, work on some hardware, study, you know, all that fun stuff.
So what kind of tools do you use to monitor the server hardware?
We use a couple of in-house written tools. One's called SOE
Stands for SOE Monitoring System.
And we use a couple of other ones too, but these all help us do our job. One of the tools will report, you know, any box in particular. So at any given time, we could have one box go down for whatever reason. There could be like 100 to 200 reasons why that box is down. And sometimes when the alert comes in, we don't even really know if it's, you know, what that alert means. So it's our job to diagnose, you know, ticket it, and try to fix it as soon as possible. And we could have, you know, hundreds of different alerts at any given time that we're taking a look at. So.
So you already addressed this sort of, but do people monitor the servers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even holidays?
You bet. We're there 24/7, 365 a year. No rest for the weary. We're always there. There's not one time, at any time, where there's not one person, at least one person in that NOC. And that's just the name of the game. It's 24/7, 365. We work during holidays. I work Thanksgiving, I work Christmas Eve, and then during the Christmas break. So luckily it was slow. So.
Yeah. So can you walk us through a typical situation that you might see on a daily basis?
Okay, a typical situation would be a database for a game title. You know, we'll say a Vanguard. You know, might have issues. And the issues can be anywhere from like it's a runaway process on the CPU, the RAM might be failing, there's a power supply that's broken, you name it. Well, I mean, any particular box can go down, a database can go down, which will cause service interruption, and that's one thing we don't want.
Right.
We want nice and seamless, steady, uninterrupted service. So
keep the players in happy.
absolutely, absolutely, keep those guys playing. So the situations arise where that happens on a daily basis, and then we are tasked with, trying to restore service as fast as possible. We are in charge of a lot of the hardware aspects. If it's a chassis that needs to be replaced, if it's RAM, if it's a hard drive, we can do that. If it's something where, like I said, it was like a process or something else with the software or coding, then we have game teams we can contact. We have other IT support teams we can contact. So then they can resolve it as fast as possible. Meanwhile, we're ticketing everything. We're writing notes down on our tickets. So we're in charge of incident management at the same time too. So we're always facilitating communication. And a lot of times that those support teams will say, I need somebody from the game team woken up, and it could be 2 or 3 in the morning.
Right.
So we'll call them, and then we'll get everyone together. We'll open a bridge, get them into our IRC. So
right.
do it as fast as we can.
So that could be the not typical situation. That's all heck breaking loose, or what's that like?
That could be just a typical situation.
Okay.
Then again, all heck breaking loose could be. Man, it could be a number of things.
Yeah.
I mean, take your pick. All heck breaking loose could be like a game being down for an extended period of time, during prime time, no less. So again, it's and there could be a number of different reasons why that could happen. We definitely do planned maintenances. We facilitate all the maintenances. Game teams will always do their patches. I understand EverQuest 2 got patched this morning, so sometime late last night, night shift, staged all that stuff and pushed it out during their maintenance window.
We had a login maintenance this morning as well.
Oh, there you go. That's right. The 1 at 7. Good
So in a non-typical situation where all heck is breaking loose, is it like frenzied, or is it everybody's calm and just calling the correct people?
You can't help but to be a little frenzied because you realize what's going on. The scope of the situation could be severe, but I would just emphasize that remain calm, because you got to be calm in those situations. You can't be reactionary to every situation that arises. So yes, remain calm. Contact who you got to contact. Let the teams know. You gotta know. I can't really name off like specific, all heck breaking loose. But I think we'll let players use their imagination.
Let's see. So let's talk personal.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you single? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm taken.
I'm joking. What games are you currently playing?
If I have any free time, I'm playing Star Trek Online. Right now. It's a good game.
What's your favorite SOE game?
PlanetSide.
Of course.
Hands down.
It's a
game.
great
NC
game.
all the way, baby.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Vanu, man. Purple.
Yeah.
All right. Any advice for someone who wants to break into the industry and work in network operations?
Hey, as long break into the industry, know something, have a background in programming, networking. You don't even have to go to. Well, I don't want to say that. You should go to school.
Don't drop out.
Yeah, don't drop out. But I would say just learn something, get your little niche going, and then a lot of people do it. I did it. Joel's done it. A lot of people have done it. You just come in, work your way from the bottom, go to the top.
Did
Absolutely.
it too.
Absolutely. We've all been there. We've all done that.
Yep. You gotta start somewhere.
Absolutely.
And you have to love what you do.
Absolutely.
Do we have questions from the channel?
Yeah, talking personal.
Yeah.
I heard Bill is a big wrestling fan.
A big wrestling fan.
Really?
Big time wrestling. Who's your favorite wrestler of all time and why?
The Rock. And hands down, do I have to say a reason why?
Are you watching all these Disney movies now?
No. And listen, I like the guy before he went into the movies.
I'm just teasing.
There's nobody who cuts a better promo than The Rock.
What else do we have?
So it is PlanetSide's anniversary.
Yes, it is. Woo!
And you know that they're having an all vehicles event.
Yeah.
Right now, right? It's going on right now.
So every empire can pick up a vehicle from any other empire.
Get in game, guys.
What's your favorite vehicle?
Ooh.
If you were to pick one or maybe two, like an air and a land, what would they be and why?
Well, I'd have to stick with my own empire here. I have to go with the Vanguard tank because
Alright.
all the other tanks are just, they're lame.
Oh!
Oh, they nerfed the Mag Rider a long time ago, and I never thought the Prowler was any good. So.
Oh, listen
Mag
to
Rider's
him
part of the
owning
Navy
you
anyways.
guys.
Ah, there you go.
He's
Mag Rider
owning
used to
you.
just mow people over, you know,
I think-
the Mag Mower.
I think after this, Bill needs to log into game and challenge you guys.
Happy to do it.
We'll flag them as Black Ops so you all can kill them.
That's
There you
right.
go.
That sounds
did
good.
Did that at Fanfare user.
Is Black Ops going on right now too?
I believe Virago/Paul is running Black Ops.
Awesome. For the anniversary, that's
So,
way cool.
you care to explain Black Ops a little bit,
No, because it's
Bill?
But
like-
basically, they're like, they're just there to create havoc. You know,
Right.
they're just like gremlins in an engine. You know, that's all they're there. They have no purpose. You could be on the same team, and then the next moment they're flagged as Black Ops, and then they're shooting you in the back. And that's all they're doing. They're just going. They create havoc. They hack bases so that they're neutral. No one can mess with them.
so they're basically anyone can kill them.
Yes, anybody can kill them.
Anti-Empire.
Yeah, they're chaos.
Anti-empire.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They are the chaos engine within Planet Side.
And don't you get like a slight buff when
You
you
do
that?
get an armor
Ooh.
and no, you start as an agile armor, which is better than the standard armor.
Okay.
And you also have a health bonus.
Ooh.
But you can't get it, like, you can't take all vehicles.
Right.
Like some,
No BFRs.
No BFRs, yeah.
All right.
There is no BFRs.
Any other questions from the channel before we sign off?
Well, actually, about the NOC.
Oh, okay.
What are the most interesting people in the NOC? Like,
Besides myself.
besides
Yeah, of
yourself?
course, because you are the most interesting
Any
person
shout
in
outs
the
to
NOC.
them or?
Yeah.
Shout outs to my shift, Manny, Jordan, Zim. You know, we're rocking the best shift. What can I say?
Best shift.
But all the guys in there, you know, morning shift to night shift, to Chris, both Chris's, Rob Mall, Ellison, Gary, John. You know,
Way to go, guys.
we got a good group of guys in there.
All right. Okay, well, if that's it for questions,
Well, I got off easy that one.
I want to thank everybody for attending this webcast viewing. We're going to be back next week, same time, same place, 4 o'clock on Thursday, with the Fanfare webcast. We're going to talk about Fanfare 2011, so tune in next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.